Welcome to Mining Review Africa at Mining Indaba 2026. Today I'm speaking to Dave Goddard from Hexagon. Dave, welcome.
Thank you.
Your partnership with Modern puts real emphasis on universities, skills and early careers. Why is investing in local next generation talent just as critical as investing in new mining technology?
Well, I guess the way we look at it is that the future of mining belongs to future miners. And so if you're not developing the future miners, then you're not really contributing to the industry. The other part of it is that, we work in an increasingly technologically driven industry. And so for us, giving the students access to the technology and to the tools that we provide allow them to be digital natives when they enter the workforce and be more productive that way.
Of course. You've written that you don't want... No, sorry. If you just start that question again. You've written that you don't know what the mine of the future looks like. Why is admitting that uncertainty important for a technology leader in mining?
Well, I think it's important because we don't know. We're not miners. We're assisting in the process. And for us to be so naive and arrogant to say that we know what the mine of the future looks like, that's not a partnership. We're looking to partner with our customers to help them identify new opportunities, new ways of mining, new ways of working, perhaps, is probably a better way, because at the end of the day, mining hasn't really changed in several thousand years. It's a matter of make the big rock smaller. And that's really what mining is. And we're just adding better tools and better insights into how that process is accomplished.
After 30 years in mining technology, what is the biggest lesson you've learned about listening to customers versus trying to impose a vision of the future?
Oh my God, that's the key. The biggest lesson is that it's still a people-driven process. Technology is often viewed as a silver bullet and something that will fix poor performance or fix a poor ore body. But at the end of the day, it boils down to people. And the change management is what's really the valuable part. The ability to take the technology and change your workflows to have a more efficient workflow that is enabled by the technology. That requires the people to buy in because they're changing their jobs. They're changing how they do work day to day. And so for me, it's really the change management is probably the most important part of the technology.
Hexagon's integrated collision avoidance and operator alertness systems turn safety data into real-time insights. How does that shift safely from compliance to genuine risk reduction on site? And what plans do you have in the realm for underground safety?
So, in terms of the, what the change is, again, it goes back to people. And so when you go in with the insights and you start having that conversation with the individual operators, and you have the conversation not about you didn't do this correctly, but you talk about it from the standpoint of we want you to go home to your family at the end of the shift. This is the reason why we're enabling this. This is the reason why we have this technology. It's not for us to check up on you. It's to make sure that you get to go home to your families. And so that to me is probably the most important part of the insights and the approach that we take in terms of change management and making sure that people understand the why the technology is being implemented rather than the what. Otherwise, it's just too easy to check a box. For underground, we're in the process of testing a new product line around underground collision avoidance system. We've moved our operator awareness system, that's a TEAC systems. That has already been proven in the underground. We have a great customer in Tasmania that was our first implementation of that. Fantastic opportunity for us to continue to drive not just in surface, but in underground safety as well.
You've described connecting the entire mining value chain as an ore-to-value journey. Can you explain that vision and why it matters for the future of mining?
I think one of the important things to remember is that when a mine decides to develop an ore body, that ore body while it has physical constraints and a physical definition and an outline, the mining company really is looking at a model, a digital model of what that actually is. And so what when we talk about ore to value, what we're talking about is being able to take a 1 centimeter cube of rock and being able to track that through the entire processing from the time it was modeled to the time a borehole drill went through it, to the time it was blasted, time it was loaded, to which truck it was on, when it was dumped on the crusher, where it ended up on the stockpile, and all the way through the entire process. So you have true traceability from end to end. And what that allows you to do then is to optimize the processes in between as that rock is flowing through that value chain.
Good. Well, Dave, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.